Hello everyone and welcome to this video where yes, Antoine Griezmann, the legend, the historic and iconic player from the Atletico de Madrid, just got transferred to Orlando City. So Orlando City just trade for Antoine Griezmann, and in terms of money, how much Atletico de Madrid got paid for Antoine Griezmann, we don't know. Because I searched it up in different places. I asked Google. They say at the beginning they say it was they pay 25 million euros, but later it says it paid 10 millions with some fees. Later it says it paid 22 with 10 million fees and blah blah blah. It gives you different answers. So in terms of how much Atletico de Madrid got paid, we don't know yet. But the contract of Griezmann, he signed a 2-year deal, and he's gonna get paid between 10 and 15 million dollars. We're gonna talk about some stats about Antoine Griezmann. We're gonna talk what he means for the team, what is gonna happen with Atletico de Madrid, how this affect them. Because in Antoine Griezmann, in my opinion, he's a key player. He's a legend and everything. And he's a little bit old, but he still plays really well. Enough to perform in a high level, and he is a person that is really smart in the game. Through all his career, he has been really smart. That's why his debut was in the Real Sociedad. Later he got transferred for 30 million to the Atletico de Madrid, and he played in the Atletico de Madrid for a lot of years. Later in 2019 he got transferred to Barcelona for 120 million euros. Later he got from Barcelona to Atletico de Madrid on 2022-2023 season, between 22 to 24 million euros plus some fees. And later he got traded to Orlando City, and we don't know for how much. And one other detail is that Antoine Griezmann, he's gonna get paid between 10 and 15 million dollars or euros. Hold on, let me check real quick. He's gonna get paid between 10 and 15 million euros or dollars, most possible thing dollars. And he's one of the highest paid players in the MLS. So I'm glad for Griezmann. He's getting a lot of money and he just got transferred. That's a bad thing, but it's not like the Atletico de Madrid and Griezmann finish in bad terms, because Antoine Griezmann always have loved Atletico de Madrid, and he post like a text where it says, "It's not easy to put into words what I feel, because this club is my home and you are my family. It has been an incredible journey, full of unforgettable matches, goals, joy, and passion that only those of who feel Atleti can truly understand. But for now, let's leave the last dance." That Antoine Griezmann got transferred, but that doesn't mean that he's gonna play right now in Atletico de Madrid. That doesn't mean that he's gonna play right now in Orlando City. After the season is over, Atletico de Madrid, is gonna say goodbye to Antoine Griezmann, and Griezmann is gonna be free to go to Orlando City because he has to finish the season first. So they're gonna do a last dance, and Antoine Griezmann is really emotional. He published the post, and I don't think they're gonna finish in bad terms because they still have a season to go. They have to get a better spot to be in Champions League. That is the fourth spot. They have to keep winning games because they want to keep being competitive. They are just 1 point away from Villarreal for the third spot, so I guess they want that third spot. Plus they have really important matches ahead of them. They have the Barcelona match in La Liga. Later they have another Barcelona match 4 days later for the Champions League. and of course they want to win that. Later they have the Sevilla, and later the second leg against Barcelona, and they want to finish the season strong. And now what better motivation than the last dance of Antoine Griezmann. And now, for you guys to realize how legendary Griezmann is, how iconic he was for Real Madrid, for Atletico de Madrid, I'm going to tell you some stats about him in his Atletico timeline. And well, here we go. Among the greatest players in Atletico de Madrid history, Griezmann is in the club of all-time leading scorer with 211 goals and 97 assists in 488 matches, and of course counting, because he is not done. He's gonna finish this season with Atletico de Madrid and later go to Orlando City. And he has won 4 titles with the Spanish club, including the 2017-2018 UEFA Europa League. Among other 4 titles, of course, Champions League final appearance. Let's see how they do in this Champions League and what this means for Atletico de Madrid real quick, because I have to do a situationship Atletico de Madrid video, but that's gonna be for later. So this is gonna be like a quick summary. So they have a tough schedule ahead of them. They have Barca, later Sevilla, later Barca again, and they want that third spot. Why they want that third spot and why they are trying to win? First, because it's the last dance of Antoine Griezmann, and second, because Julian Alvarez, we don't know if he's gonna stay or leave this season, and this is a big hit because Atletico de Madrid, they need Griezmann. Griezmann is a really smart player. He does a lot of assists. He has experience that is valuable for the young players in Atletico de Madrid. He knows the game. He has chemistry with the players, and his apportations are huge because he's smart. He does good passes. It's like a Toni Kroos in the Real Madrid. Later of that, Toni Kroos left a few years ago of the Real Madrid in the last UCL final against the Borussia Dortmund. Madrid struggled because Toni Kroos, he was super smart, and he did the better passes. He had a lot of technique, and same with Antoine Griezmann. He's one of the hearts of the team, and more than a heart, he's one of the biggest minds of the team. He's really smart, and he's a player that can score, can give you assist, that can defend, that is gonna give you hustle plays. Not a lot of hustle plays, but he's gonna give you hustle. And look, he's a player that plays really good, and of course he's a really valuable asset. What this mean to Orlando City? That they are gonna get way better at the MLS and all the trophies that are over there. They are gonna get more competitive. Because the season right now for Orlando City is they have played 5 matches. They have 3 points, and they just won 1 match and lose the other 4. So they are doing pretty bad right now. It's a rough start for Orlando City. And they're gonna have a player with experience, a player that can still play at the highest level in soccer. So of course, Antoine Griezmann is gonna be like in his prime in Orlando City, just like it happened with Messi in the Inter of Miami. So this is good news for Orlando. They have a really important asset, important player, and much than that, they have one of the better player. They have a really important player that plays really good and that is gonna perform really well in the MLS. For Atletico, finishing the thing with Atletico, I don't know how the situation is going to be, because this is a tough situation for Atletico. Are they going to keep Julian Alvarez? Most possible thing, yes, because I don't think Julian Alvarez, after 1 year of being in Atletico de Madrid jersey or being in the Atletico de Madrid team, he's gonna, just like transfer and quit. He has to get more chemistry with the team, see how the pieces go together in the summer, because of course Atletico de Madrid has to bring some players in the summer. And yeah, it's a lot of things to be done in Atletico de Madrid now that Antoine Griezmann is gonna be gone. And of course, look, the season is now over. Most possible thing, Atletico de Madrid is gonna get that 3rd spot and in the La Liga they're gonna keep being competitive. They're gonna go deep in the Champions League. I don't think they are going to win it though, because they don't have a really deep team or super talented team to win the Champions League, but they're gonna be competitive enough to make Julian Alvarez stay and to, you know, sell the project, sell the future to Julian Alvarez for him to stay. So I think Julian Alvarez is gonna stay. The bad thing is that Atletico de Madrid lose Antoine Griezmann. That is a really valuable player, a really valuable asset, but we're gonna see how they perform in the next season. And please enjoy this last dance of Atletico de Madrid. They have some really good matches ahead of them: Barça, Sevilla, later Barça again, and later they're gonna finish the season really strong. The games are going to be competitive. They're gonna try to go further in the Champions League because they want Antoine Griezmann to enjoy the last dance and to be a memorable last dance. So please go watch some Atletico de Madrid football, see, value these last matches of Atletico de Madrid, because Antoine Griezmann is gonna be gone, so value the legend that Antoine Griezmann is. And yeah, just go there, watch some Atletico de Madrid soccer, value Antoine Griezmann, and later in the MLS you're gonna see how this guy perform. He's gonna do super well, I have no doubt about it. And to Antoine Griezmann, he's one of the best players of Atletico Madrid history. I'm happy for him that, you know, he's gonna get a lot of money in MLS, and you know that he found a place to retire. Now I hope he does great in his last dance, and that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening to this. Thank you for the support I've been having lately, and yeah, enjoy Antoine Griezmann, enjoy Atletico de Madrid football. That's all I have to say, and please have a good day.